as Trevon Diggs goes down with an ACL tear yesterday at practice, and now he is done for the season. That significantly affects the Cowboys' Super Bowl chances. Now, me personally, I didn't have them going there anyway. But if I were to make the case of how could the Cowboys get to a Super Bowl, the case would be Dak Prescott stops turning the football over. So far this year, he's done so. The Cowboys effectively run the football against the really good teams like the Eagles, like the Niners. There's a couple of big plays to CeeDee Lamb. There's a couple of chunk plays in the passing attack, but that defensively, the Cowboys defense shuts down Brock Purdy, shuts down Jalen Hurts, and the Cowboys win the division as the Eagles try to figure out who they are this year without those two coordinators and polishing Jalen Hurts into a pocket passer, and that the Eagles end up being 11-6 and the Cowboys are 12-5 and win the division. And the Cowboys then get a home playoff game and win a wild card round game against a team that they're superior to, get to the divisional round, go to San Francisco or go to Philadelphia, and, well, if they're the division winner, then, they'd host another playoff game, but are able to get to Jalen Hurts or get to Brock Purdy with a pass rush, shut down the receivers, and win a game 24-20, and then do it again, replicate that in the NFC Championship game. The problem is, how are you going to beat the Niners or the Eagles 24-20 if one of your shutdown corners or your number one corner isn't available? Because the 49ers have both Debo and Ayuk. And the Eagles have both Brown and Smith. And it's pick your poison when those guys drop back to pass, who you're going to roll coverage over to, who you need to roll coverage over to, etc. I realize we're extrapolating out a season where anything can happen, injuries can happen, an upset can happen to the wild card round, what have you, and it might not turn out this way. But if I'm going to make the case for the Cowboys on September the 22nd about getting to a Super Bowl or winning the NFC, I got to figure it's going to go through either the Niners or the Eagles or both. And both of those teams have enough weapons on offense to the loss of Trevon Diggs is a big one. Now, I'll tell you, I really like Dan Quinn as a coordinator. People think I'm a Cowboys hater. I really, really like Dan Quinn as a coordinator. I don't want him as my head coach. I love him as a DC. So maybe he's able to figure out ways to camouflage losing Diggs. At the same time, you can't replace a guy of his caliber. And if you do it, maybe you're able to do it for 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Ultimately, you lose him going into week number 3. It's a long season to try to have to fill that hole. I think it's a really, really big ding when it comes to the resume of the Cowboys trying to get to a Super Bowl. Really big. Really, really big.